Okay, just by looking at the hands, you can tell about a person, the basic traits of a person. The hand types, there's four hand types, which is four elements. The four hand types will describe a person's personality, the basis of a person's personality. Like you got earth hands, you got fire hands, you got air hands, and you got water hands. And so let me break this down. Because palmistry is something deep, and this is just the shape of the hand that deal with height and length. And you can tell all of this. A lot of times I just look at people's hand, I can tell if they intelligent or whatever, just by looking at the hands. So now, if a person got earth hands, that means that they will have square palms and short fingers. So their short fingers will be about the same length as their palm. I mean, as their palms. Yeah. So this is square. These are square hands. So these people hands will be very much printed out, kind of thick, kind of heavy, thick, light hands, because it's short. So these people are hard workers, they go getters, they are reliable. Of course, they need a goal to accomplish and they pay attention to detail, but they're practical, intelligence. They ain't all in the fantasy world like a air hand. So they're not all up there like that. But these people are more careful how they move. They're more careful than the fire hands. And so these people ain't all emotional like the water hands. So we talking about the earth hands. They are the ones who can be stable naturally and who can be a ground for you to stand on. So they are physical empaths. They can feel other people's pain in their body. They feel other people's pain in their body, which sometimes they think it's their pain, but it's somebody else's pain. So they're physical empaths like that there. So they're very much psychic on that level, but they're practical too. So these people are the ones who could be your mechanics because they like the fixers. And the thing is, they got a lot of scruff, very strong, very earthly, and the thing is they're reliable, they're trustworthy, they're family oriented. And the thing is about these people, you ain't got to worry about them lying to you because they don't really appreciate or tolerate people who are in their illusion state. So they're more practical into this world of reality. But they also can be materialistic and things of that nature there. So these people here will have, because they will work to have. These are hard workers, workaholics, and who don't stop until they get the job done. They're very persistent in what they do and they're security oriented. So we got earth hand people, you can rely on them. You can call on them when you're talking about getting the job done. We're talking about paying attention to details, and because they live by facts. Now, if you got hands where your fingers are short and your palms is long in a rectangular shape like mine, you have fire hands. The fire hand people, their hand mostly well printed out. You can see the lines and they're well printed. The hand like fluffy light. You can like it's lively, very fluffy like lively like hands. And so we talking about people because fire deal with energy, so they energetic, the natural leaders, they bold, they claircognizant, where they just know things, and plus they live by their intuition. So these people here, not to crank a party out, they hate to be bored, they fall in love, and these are the people who sex drive is high. These people here, are also very impulsive, where they just go. When they want something, they just go. They don't even think. They're not like your airheads where they just think, they just go for it. So these people here also fight to achieve what they want, but they also can start drama because they don't like to be bored and stuff like that. There, so these are your fighters in the world. So these people here are the ones who will protect you and be by your side, and they're straightforward and very blunt when they speak, very expressive and very entertaining, very funny, and like a joke, like a plate. Like the earth hand people, they more serious and they're more practical, more into reality. But the fire people, they love to have fun, so entertainment is a part of their aura and playful and everything else. Now, If your hands, if your fingers are long, if your fingers are long, and your palms is short like a square, we're talking about air hands. Those who have air hands. So the air deal with the mind. And so air is all over the place. So the air can go in the past, the present, and the future. So the people be all over everywhere for information. So they can be very much clairvoyance, and also has telepathy powers where they could read people's mind, pick up on people's thoughts, and also transfer their thoughts to others. And sometimes they could think of somebody gonna call, and then somebody called, and they pick up on other people's thoughts. So these people are very much smart. They highly intellectual. They're very smart, and they love information. They love to learn. They seek information. So these people pretty much are your teachers. Like the fire is more like spiritual, and they're creative. Fire hands are spiritual and creative, but air hands more like the ones who will teach you. So these like your spiritual teachers. The air hands more like spiritual teachers. They're more like stay into thought. So they for your philosophers, your poets. They're into music and things like that. So they're good at putting the words together, understanding symbols, words, and signs, and things like that. These are the air hands. The air hand people are very loving and like to connect with people, very social. Air hands and fire hands are very social people. Earth hand could be introverts, and water hands could be introverts. So since we're talking about since we're talking about air hands, these people are more like the ones you want to be around because they know how to liven up a party, and they know how to kick it with you. They know how to create things up. So they got a lot of ideas, very innovative type people. Now, when we talk about water hands, these are the type of people who have long fingers and long rectangular palms, so they be about even. They got long fingers, and the long rectangular palms would be by even. So you got to start when you measure something. You got to start from the end of the longest finger on their hand, the end of that, all the way to the top, and then you got your palm from under that finger all the way to the end of the palm, and that's how you measure it. But you talk water hands, of course, these people most likely their hand most likely look like you barely can see the lines. Like the air hands will feel sort of like sandy like sandpaper or sandy light, and they might have little thin lines all over the place. That's the air hands. But the water hands are the type that will be smooth like water. Feel like look, they're smooth like water, and you barely can see the prints in their hands. But these are the people who can pick up on other people's emotions because they're very emotional, very sensitive, and these people can be your crybabies because they're very empathic to the energy around them. But they also are homebodies. They love the home. I mean, they ain't got to go to the party like the air hands or people who got fire hands. I mean, they can have fun at home. So we talking about water hands. Water hands is more in tune with the soul, more in tune. They're like your old soul, so they can read people. Pretty much can't lie to these people, but they also can be affected to people in general and take on their energy. So the water hand is more artistic, very creative, artistic expression. They are about unconditional love. They're all about helping you in every way they could. So they're very giving and very generous and very caring and very like nurturers, like energy right here. These are your nurturers and your caregivers. Because this is more like the female like energy. So when I say female, I don't mean that because you got water hands, you are a female. It just means that feminine energy is more of a introvert energy. It's more like internal. So you always looking within. So meditation is good for you. Like fire hands are emotion too. but they more going to express it out. You going to express yours inward because it's water. Fire gonna carry it outward. So the energy that you have inward, fire gonna bring it out. Like fire hands meditate and whatever they come up with, they're gonna express it. You can hold yours in and feel good and in tune with yourself, and also be in your fantasy world because you more cool with it. You can create a movie all in your head and stuff. That's how water hands operate. So you the type that that very kind, very cool like energy. And so when we talk about all the hands, because since we know that water hands very much psychic and in tune, all hands got psychic ability. I mean, all elements got psychic abilities, and so that's why I broke it down. Like water hands more clairsentient, and fire hands is claircognizance, and air hands is more like clairaudience or to have telepathy powers, and and I said air fire and earth hands is more like mediums who can talk to spirit and who hold energy within them, so they pick up on other people's pain, so they are the physical empaths. And so all signs has intuitive ability, intuition, but fire hands actually live by it because this is how they make decisions by the intuition, and also water. You see, earth and air hands more like thinkers. Like the air hands is more thinkers, and earth hands is thinkers too on a practical level. So they gonna think it out, how they gonna carry it out. But fire hands is most likely gonna go get it, and water hands gonna live by the intuition also. So it is the difference. See, fire is emotion too. It is that fire carry theirs outwardly expression, and water is inward expression. And and earth is intellectual too. Earth gonna manifest it, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be more practical with the intellectual. And the air gonna be all in their mind with it, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be more internal. So that's how it is, you know what I'm saying? So those with all these hand types, now you understand them, So if you want somebody you can rely on, you mess with people who have earth hands, you want to get the job done, and you know who you can rely on to trust. Definitely gonna be the earth hands who got your back. Now, if you want to go to a party and liven it up, or you get somebody to crank up something, or to take the lead and motivate you and you inspiration, you talking about fire hands. Now, if you want somebody who gonna give you a thought on something, you need somebody's opinion of their thoughts, you gonna go to an air hand. Now, water hands. That's it. That's if you need somebody to feel you. You need somebody to feel your emotions, a bond. You go to water hands. So fire hands also can get on the knowledge. You know what I mean? Because it deal with I know, cognites. Because they just know. It's super confidence. Just like air hands is confident because this is masculine energy. When we talking about fire and air. So the female energy would be mostly earth and water. So these hand types, I just broke down, describe it all. So had to break it down to you beautiful people and bring you this light. Definitely in tune. Got to be. It gets no better than this, I stay doing what I do, breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? Giving it to you. Look at the hand types. Next time you see a person, look at their hands. Tell them hold their hands out. You can read them by looking at the length and the width of the hand, the rectangular and the square shapes, and the short fingers and the long fingers, and you could tell the hand type. So it's just that simple. I just want to bring it to on the basic levels to you. Some of the basic traits don't mean that this is gonna be all their traits, but this is gonna be like the basis, set the foundation for the rest of the traits that's in the person's hands in palmistry. And so because you also got mounts, you got lines, all that means something in the person's hand that tell a story about a person. So, with it being said, they just broke a person down. It's definitely don't get no realer than this because I can't lit. Ain't nobody gonna do it better, Need somebody to crank up the party. You talking about the air hands, the fire hands, especially the fire hands. You need somebody who you can trust and you can depend on it, on the earth hands, on water, somebody empathize with you, water hands. And so this how it operates, you know what I'm saying? You're still realer than this. Need somebody to fix your car, earth hands, fix on things, you talking about earth hands. So this definitely would it be. Ashe.